my name is Liz Sherman. I am a firefighter at Pflugerville Fire Department. I am also a yoga for first responders teacher. So we're going to talk about tactical breath work today and how it refers to stress. And since you guys aren't firefighters, we won't talk too much about bottle time, but it does help us as firefighters increase our bottles. Our objectives today are learning how tactical breathwork works and how it does reduce stress, help you sleep better, and other health benefits. So yoga for first responders is sensitive to the distinct stress and trauma that first responders encounter on the job. So we use mental and physical training to improve resiliency and strengthen the mind and body, which can create peak performance on and off duty. But it can also benefit just normal civilians too in their everyday life. Like if you're testing for an exam, you can use your tactical breath work to kind of bring your heart rate down and reduce that stress. So there's some health benefits. You return to homeostasis. So homeostasis is kind of the balance of your body inside, like all your organs, your stress, your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system response. It typically takes 24 to 48 hours, but with tactical breath work, you can inherently rebalance it in 2 to 3 minutes. So what suffers? Your ability to recover and communicate effectively. Your body will stay in that flight mode, which is your parasympathetic response setting in, your brain to body communication, and your emotional intelligence. Post-traumatic stress. Not just military or first responders have post-traumatic stress. Normal people do on the street. They may have had something happen that really affected them, and it's a normal reaction to abnormal circumstances. So here's some symptoms of post-traumatic stress. You can have frequent backache and headaches. You can have digestive issues, hypertension, which is high blood pressure. You can be sick all the time. You can be hyper aware of your surroundings. Yes.
So this can actually like help you lower blood pressure?
Yes, tactical breath work will help you lower blood pressure. So like when you're in the doctor's office and you get that white coat syndrome,
yes,
you can do
I have that.
tactical breath work.
Awesome. I
So
really want to learn this.
Some first responder statistics, which might be interesting to y'all since family members of first responder. 40% of police have suffered sleep disorders. There was almost 500 suicides for firefighter and EMS between 2012 and 2016 because of this post-traumatic stress, what we encounter on the job. Your average correctional officer will only live 18 months after they retire. 18 to 37% law enforcement and firefighters reported post-traumatic stress on the job. The average correctional officer won't see their 59th birthday, and 86% of EMS providers experience critical stress. So, YFFR, Yoga for First Responders, and Tactical Breath Work will train regulation of the nervous system. So that means we're training your nervous system to ride waves of activation in order to reach that homeostasis, which is what your body really wants to live in. We process stress, build resistance, enhance performance. So it doesn't have to be job specific for you guys. Y'all can just use tactical breath work to help process your stress and enhance your performance, like in testing. So the tactical breath work. This is how we gain access to the nervous system. So it brings all your bodily systems into coherence. Drilling it will provide a challenge of activation so you can kick that in when you're performing under stress. So like if you lay in bed, Sid, and you're like, oh, I'm really stressed out about an exam tomorrow, you can like do your breathing and it'll help you fall asleep faster.
He's been having to take Benadryl some nights to fall asleep, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But well, yeah, because of stress.
Yeah, and this could help you.
This can help you. Or when you sit down to take an exam, I know you're a good exam taker, but if you get nervous right before, you can drill some tactical breath work, which I'll show you in a second, and it'll help bring your heart rate down and bring that anxiety down. A lot of times anxiety is produced by an overactive heart, like a high heart rate. You feel that anxious feeling, but you can rebalance that.
Okay.
So it instantly self-regulates you, and it's simple and accessible. So we're gonna do a few minutes of tactical breath work. So what you do, you can sit, stand, lay down. You put your hands on your stomach. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Fill your belly completely full of air. See how big my stomach is right now? You initiate it from here all the way up. So you start here. Feel your ribs expand, your chest rise. Like, think about keeping that inhale 5 seconds. So hold for a few and then completely deflate. Like, feel your stomach hit your spine on the deflate. So belly, ribs, chest, chest, ribs, belly. So inhale and fully exhale.
You can do this like laying in bed.
You can do this laying in your bed, in your
anxiety attack.
car, standing up. I know you've taken yoga before, but it's like that yoga breathing is what we call it, tactical breath work. So the firefighters aren't like, oh, we're doing yoga, I don't want to do yoga. It's like, no, it's tactical because it helps us reduce stress and helps us conserve bottle times because we have those air packs that we wear during fires. And if we're breathing real fast, the air goes really fast. So then we can't stay in and play and have fun in the fire. Not really, but put the fire out. We have to leave and get a new bottle. So this way, like, or if something happens and we get trapped or lost, we can kick in our tactical breath work to save our air so that someone can come find us. All right, so the science behind it. So tactical breath work. You work with your breath to access the nervous system and gain mastery over your mind while promoting optimal functioning of your psychophysiological system. So your brain to body connection. So breathing is how we exist. So controlling your breathing and being able to kick in and manage it helps you function as a whole. It directs and purifies the subtle pathways of mobilized traumatic conditioning factors. So you have this trauma that happened to you, and anytime something reminds you of it, your heart rate will pick up and your breathing will pick up. And if you're like, okay, this isn't really happening right now, I'm gonna focus on my breathing, I'm gonna reset everything. But what it really does is it massages that vagus nerve, which is your primary nerve of your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your flight mode. Then it reduces sympathetic responses after stress. So your vagus nerve is the nerve if you're pooping really hard and you strain too much, you might pass out because it just squeezes and cuts off that blood flow. So if you're kicking in your tactical breathing and breathing, it massages it and like reduces your stress. All right, so do a few minutes of more tactical breath work. If you guys have any questions, we'll talk about that too. So Sid, how do you do the tactical breath work? Is it a deep inhale? Is
You do
it
a deep inhale in your stomach and in your chest and everything,
and
and
then
then you hold it for a little bit, for like 5 seconds, and then you breathe out and breathe all of the air out.
try to get your stomach into
Yeah.
your spine. So if I was sitting down, I could do it this way. Sit down, feel my stomach, feel my chest, kind of relax, and fully exhale. Or you could do it laying down. Do you have any other questions?
this is a weird question, but you know how sometimes when you try to take a deep breath, you feel like you can't get it all the way?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that? Because sometimes I have panic attacks because I feel like I can't get, like, all my lungs. I can't get that feeling where it, like, gets all the way full. It seems like this could help with that. If you were
If you
trying
keep
to-
practicing, because then, so the practice will make it to where when you are in that situation where you're like, I can't get a full breath, your body will just inherently like
do that.
kick in, you know, it's like you want to practice things before you're in a situation that you need it,
Yeah.
because it's like
Because I've definitely,
psychomotor.
I've done,
memory.
yeah, sometimes I go through, like, I'm laying in bed and I start panicking, so I'm like, I can't get a deep breath, I can't get a deep breath. I'm like, I have to really try or something.
Yeah.
See, I can do it right now, but yeah, so I need to, like, try to practice the from the bottom up kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, just this, and it's not really inherent, I feel like, for people to breathe the big belly breaths. You want to breathe in and suck in, and then when
Right.
you breathe out, like, relax everything. When you're doing the opposite, we should be doing the opposite. You should be filling your belly on your intake and then deflating on your exhale. Like, feel those lungs expand. And this helped me during COVID because, you know, I felt constriction in my lungs, but I like the more I filled my lungs out and made them expand, it like helped kick in my breathing. So yoga's really good to do to de-stress, get some mobility in, completely relax your mind and body. This yoga for first responders is really cool in that way because the woman that started it lives in New York, and she lived near the downtown fire station. And so when 9/11 hit, which said you weren't born yet, but I'm sure you know about 9/11 hit, she lost a lot of her friends because she would go by that fire station and have coffee with them and hang out, talk to them. So after that, she wanted to do something to help first responders as a whole, because she couldn't directly be a first responder, and she was really good at yoga. So she wanted to create a system that helps police officers and firefighters and do her part. So she's been going around the country and teaching teachers like me so that we can go back to our departments and teach people how to be more resilient, reduce stress, fall asleep faster, and relax their bodies. We have a really high stress job. You have a high stress school life, especially with all the changes and stuff that are going on now. So, a few more questions.
What questions scripts it?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't really have any.
So, how has this been received by the departments? Like, are
At
people
first,
liking it?
Our
Or is-
department loves yoga, but we already had our strength and conditioning coach introducing it. It is funny because you go in and you're like, I'm going to teach some yoga, we're going to do some tactical breath work, and they're like, oh, you mean like we're going to stretch? And then by the end of it, they're like, oh, this is really hard. It's like, we're doing a lot of stuff that is specific to the job, like working your breath work while you're in warrior pose, because that's like the pose we would be doing to hold a hose line if it was flowing.
Interesting.
Or like chair pose, we're squatting and pulling ceiling, like after a fire. But we still have to work our breathing. So yoga in line with that really is beneficial.
And I bet a bunch of the dudes don't even realize how not limber they are. Like they can't,
Yeah.
like they're strong, but they can't even touch their toes.
Right. And it's not like, that's what we try to say too, like you don't have to be flexible, you don't have to be limber. It's just all about like working your breath work while doing these things and getting out of your mind for a few minutes, like completely disassociating what's going on around you and just being like present in the moment.
I'm gonna try this tonight when I'm going to sleep. What about you, Sid?
I don't know.
Try it before an exam.
I'll try it, but I'm not really stressed right now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for letting me present to y'all, and you can turn off.